Hello, and welcome to episode 95 of the Book Wars Pod. I'm Kristen, and I'm here with Miranda and Kate and Chris, and today we're talking about chapter 14 to the end of Cavan Scott's Dooku Jedi Lost. And I don't understand what happened in the book, but before we talk about that, it's not a book. And also, what are you guys drinking? Are you drinking?
Well, before we go into drinks, I also want to add our very special returning guest that we have with us.
Is it the potato?
It is the sound you didn't hear was me squeezing my stressed potato.
That's disgusting. Do not squeeze your potato into the microphone. I also just want you to know that he was like doing some weird thing between the potato and the chair before y'all were able to hop on, and playing catch, one-handed catch with himself with this fucking potato.
Listen, what Chris does in the privacy of his home is none of my business.
Okay, but my point here is that all those things were noisy.
So he's got a potato kink. That's cool. Not here to judge.
Miranda's trying to send us back to couples counseling.
let he or she who has never had a tuber kink cast the first stone.
I do love potatoes personally.
Exactly.
Oh
I mean,
but yes, the potato has made its way back from the netherworld of our moving boxes.
where the fuck was it again?
It was in like one of the random bags that like didn't even make it into a box.
Oh, that's what I thought. And then you were like, I don't know where the potato is. What are we gonna do now?
Don't potato kink shame.
I wasn't kink shaming. Y'all know I love potatoes.
That's so true.
That's
She
honestly,
loves
that's not how I thought that sentence was going to end.
It was very good.
How is it gonna end?
Oh, we'll tell you after. It's not for
It was going to end with a
mature
dead baby joke,
audiences.
clearly.
Oh my god.
Oh, guys, I really do love potatoes. Give me a
Can we
French
name
fry.
the potato?
What are we gonna name the potato, guys?
I don't know.
French
Oh no,
fry.
actually, we'll do a Twitter poll.
French.
Excellent.
French
About
fry.
what we're not naming it French fry. That's a basic ass bitch name.
Shit!
I mean, maybe
French
we
fry
are.
gets a fucking PSL at Starbucks. We're not naming it French fry.
Oh my god!
God. Let
No,
French fry
no.
fucking live. French fry has to put up with all of your weird shit.
Stop calling it French fry. It's gonna get confused. We're gonna do a Twitter poll about, and if it ends up being French fry, I hate all of you. And now that I've said that, it's 1,000% gonna be French fry. So talk to you never.
French
Bye.
No,
Quitting the
no.
pod.
Here we go. Patreon exclusive. The Tashi Station Slack gets to decide what its name is.
Oh, true. Good.
Yeah, but
plug,
we can't do
Mom.
this. We can't do this poll until next week so that listeners have a chance to donate to the Tasha Station Radio Patreon to help us support our costs for running the show
Name French fry.
and name the potato, who will very likely not be named French fry.
TBD
yes, you will.
named potato.
Potato.
Okay.
Well, that's confusing because then we're just going to mix them up with pork chop. And pork chop could really use a little friend on the plate of pets.
Oh my
Miranda.
god.
Pork chop might be
Miranda's-
getting a little friend this week. We might. Well,
It's true.
we'll see about that.
We'll see.
Okay.
We're in the process of trying to dog ourselves. So,
Yeah.
well, stay tuned, everybody.
Drinking.
Yes.
Who's doing it? What's it all about?
I'm drinking tequila. As our listeners, our faithful listeners know, I was very concerned about finding good tequila in Colorado, but not really concerned
I was about to say, you idiot.
the situation couldn't possibly be more bleak than it is in Virginia. But we found a really great liquor store. I waxed poetic last week about how cheap the prices were, and I found the amazing tequila that we tasted in Puerto Vallarta when we did a tequila tasting there. Shouts to Vallarta Tequila Tastings. It was a really great experience. But it is Arete Tequila Blanco, and it is delicious. It is kind of sweet for a Blanco. It tastes very citrusy. and it's a delicious sipping tequila.
That's great for you, Chris. That sounded really sarcastic. I really am excited for you because I know you love tequila. I was
Thank
trying
you,
to be
Kristen.
nice, but anytime I try to be
fucking
nice, it
God.
just sounds like I'm being disingenuous. So sorry about that.
You get
Mom-
that from me.
Mom-
It's genetic.
I know. I feel like I need like a non-sarcastic safe word, but then I feel like I would use it when
Speaking
I
of
was
kink shaming.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Mhm. Thank you. Kate, what are you drinking?
Well, it is my motherfucking birthday.
Birthday!
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh my god. You sounded like a chorus of dying cats. Thank you.
That's what we aim for here on the Book Horse Pod.
Has anyone of this podcast ever heard an air horn?
Apparently not. However, I think the thing that woke me up at 3 a.m. last night was a screaming cat. So,
Oh, that's gonna happen.
Oh, good. I'm off the hook then. Great.
oh my
That's
god.
gonna happen.
You thought it was a CPAP just like blowing air all over the place last night. Anyway,
Well, it
Oh,
woke
that
me
shit
up.
wakes me up too.
Yeah, right. Solidarity. Thanks, Kristen.
Oh my god.
God, you people. Anyway, it's my motherfucking birthday, so I'm drinking my favorite gin, which is funnily enough, from a distillery called St. George, which is in California. And Chris's brother actually introduced me to this one. It's their, I forget which, they have 3 different kinds. They have like a regular, and then there's like a red one. This is the green one though.
Super helpful.
I'm sorry, the label is green. It's St. George gin, and it tastes like pine trees, and it is like my favorite thing. Everybody else on this podcast is like fucking gagging, I know, but like, I love this gin like very much, and it was another one of those things that was very hard to get in Virginia, and is significantly easier to get out here. And like usually when you are able to find it, it is not a bad. It's like probably middling price, so go try some if you like to eat a pine tree.
This is the St. George Terroir gin. They also have a dry rye gin, which is, as you might guess from the name, is a gin made out of rye.
Is it the red one?
That is the red one.
Thank you.
And then the
It's
blue
the
one
rye
is the St. George Botanivore gin.
Which is I think like the regular one.
Um.
What are you drinking?
Nothing yet. I'm about to open this motherfucker. Fort Georgia City of Dreams. I have definitely had this before, and we've definitely posted a picture of it on the Instagram. But I'll probably send another one. The design is like the same. The artwork on the can is like the same as the artwork on my tattoo. It's like line,
Ooh,
beauty,
pretty.
Please
full
note
awesome.
that it is only similar in that it's lines. It looks nothing like her tattoo.
No, it's like a similar. It's like a similar style. Like
Well,
if you
it's
look,
similar style, but it
like,
doesn't look like it.
No,
That's
I know.
That's a
Oh my
coastal
God.
town.
I know, but look at the waves. They look exactly like this is. But I mean, like this is a style of drawing. Was my point,
With
and it's the
lines.
style. Oh my god.
I can just
Yeah, it's called line. It's a thing.
God. I can just picture you right now holding the can.
I
up to
am.
your oh my god. Up to your arm and just being like, look, bitch.
Miranda's taking a photo of me.
I'll take it too.
God.
Great. Anyway, it's 5.5%. It's delicious. It's a pale ale. It's what I like to keep it in the fridge if I were to ever keep the fridge stocked with anything that wasn't Rainier and 75 IPAs that are too alcoholic to drink. What are you drinking, Miranda?
Oh, I'm also drinking a City of Dreams.
Oh,
Fun fact.
It's a very
City of
George-tastic
Dreams
podcast today.
was the first beer I bought for myself when I moved to Portland.
Aw. That's awesome.
Happy birthday, Mom.
Thanks.
Sorry, I just wanted to say it again.
Aw.
Should we Star Wars, as painful as that will be for everyone?
I mean, we should Star Wars, although I'm tempted to give Kate the best birthday present of all and just leave and not be on this episode.
I mean,
We
there's
need you to
time.
explain to us what happens.
Okay, do that first and then leave.
Chris,
Kristen.
can you read to me what I put on the outline?
Yes, all caps, Can someone explain what happened to me?
So I read this.
So-
What
no.
happened to me?
Yeah, like honestly, like I was like, do you want us to talk about like your bathroom excursion last week?
This is actually therapy.
Okay, but you didn't finish. So it says, "Can someone explain what happened to me?" Subpoint A, please.
Yeah.
I'm very polite. So it was really a confusing thing to listen to, in my opinion. I brought that hot take to the last episode, which was very easy to follow content, where I said everyone just sounds like Obi-Wan. So I would like to just say that I was not proven wrong in the second half of the book. All still very confusing to me.
Which I think we're gonna talk about too in the wrap up, like how the
Yeah.
audio.
I know we are.
How the audio medium.
How the
Yeah, Jesus. Yeah, may or may not have contributed to that. But before we do that, Chris, please do explain what the hell
okay.
happened to Kristen.
Wait, so Kristen, did you listen to last week's episode?
yeah.
Okay,
I
so
edited last week's episode, I think.
that's right, you did.
Oh my god.
Okay, so we don't need to rehave the where and when are we conversation.
Correct. No, I got that. And I followed it up to the middle, and then there was a pod race of some kind, and I was like, this is pod racing. And then I was confused, basically, after that. There was a lot of dark side shit before that I was following. I thought that was
Yep.
very, like, normal. Go to a
Yep.
planet, have weird flashbacks, flash forwards, blah, blah, blah. We can
Like
hear
one does.
Palpatine. Which was great. I thought all of that was really well done, and then I was like, I'm literally not following the plot.
So, I mean, there wasn't a ton left after the...
There sure the fuck was. There was like 60 things that happened in different timelines.
All right, so in Dooku's timeline...
Which timeline?
In the Dooku-centric timeline, the young Dooku timeline.
Okay.
So the race, during the race, his brother crashed because the race was fixed.
Yep.
Investigating this, Dooku discovered that the gangster in charge had a mole on the Jedi Council, which led him to Master Braylon, who apparently had a secret child who was the fuck-up Jedi who never amounted to anything.
Okay. Okay.
So that's that one.
Great.
Then Dooku...
I would like to point out that a new point that was added on the outline is Miranda just now. Who the fuck is Braylon? Parentheses from Keeks. It's not just me, okay? No, it is not Lean Castana.
No, those are different people.
I'm very confused.
I know. Tell me about it. I'm with you.
So
Cool.
anyway...
There was also a bird.
Master Braylon is the hard-ass Lady Jedi who's always just like,
Fuck you, bitch.
yeah,
that
who's
one.
always just like, why
Yeah.
haven't you been doing your homework? That's, yeah.
Yeah.
Is she the one who took Sypha Diaz?
No,
No.
that's Lean.
You should
Oh,
see
man.
Miranda's face right now.
Oh, man.
Listen, we tried. We didn't try that hard, but we tried. We tried the normal
driving
amount.
Today when I got to the child part, and I was paying attention to traffic, and
Listen, this is
That's
why
real.
this is a book podcast. 'Cause some of us do better reading. I do
Some of
better.
us-
none
You
of
listen
it.
to the audiobooks.
You also
Listen,
can't read.
I know. Also, most of the time I have both the audiobook and the Kindle version, and I switch back and forth.
Oh, I
And
thought
if
you
there's
meant
a
like
part that I didn't understand, I usually go back and read it.
If Kristen can't experience it with at least two sentences, or senses, then just all hope
I
is
don't
lost.
do them at the same time, Chris.
I was wondering if you like
Sometimes
needed
I
somebody
do.
to like. Okay, I was wondering if you're needing somebody to like read you to sleep or whatever. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Listen, some of us like story time. It's better than you think. Don't knock it until you've tried it.
You know what?
do
I
you
you know
read your Star Wars to sleep.
Yeah, no, you read too fast.
I read really slow when I read out loud because words are hard.
I feel like you wouldn't do you would do the voices and you just laugh. So we wouldn't be able to do
It's
it.
true, you would break the tension.
I know.
I mean, I can't say anything because Chris tried to read Chewie and the Porgs to Pork Chop and then he got bored 3 pages in. So
I have that. I can read that to you.
Aww.
Miranda has a good collection of baby books.
I love it.
I love it.
All right,
Okay,
Chris,
we're off
explain.
track.
Shocking. All right, next thing that happened.
Master Braylon had a baby.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
I got
Master
that.
Braylon.
And it's the fuck up kid, right?
It's the fuck up kid.
Yeah, it's the bully.
Wrath.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Fast forward, I don't know, 5 to 10 years. It's not really clear. Dooku's on the council. He is talking to the Senate about how the Senate needs to stop taxing trade routes and actually like do protection things
Yep.
and
It's
be
like
a real republic.
Okay. Yep.
Yes.
And the Senate said, fuck you.
Yep.
Then Dooku finds out
I am
that
the Senate. Keep going.
Jesus.
Dooku finds out, speaking of the Republic not protecting things, that his home planet of Sereno has been overrun by pirates, I think, first.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then he gets there, discovers that the pirates have actually been run off by mercenaries who were allegedly hired to run the pirates off, but then decided to just stay. Then it comes out that his brother is actually evil and is
dumb
trying
shit
to like
brother.
do a massive coup of Sereno,
Yeah,
and that's
his-
why he is like going to war with his own planet.
His dumb
Isn't
shit
he-
brother, who was also the one who fucking crashed in the fucking pod race because
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
pod racing.
Wait, but how is he doing a coup of Sereno if he's the Count of Sereno?
Because Sereno wasn't a dictatorship and he wanted it to be.
Oh.
I see. So he was becoming the Senate,
Yes.
the Sereno.
He was becoming the Sereno, correct.
Did
Correct.
he?
He was becoming the Great Stone Dragon.
Oh my god.
Mushu.
Okay.
And then
but
Great Stone Dragon comes,
literally
everybody
this Great
dies.
Stone Dragon shows up.
It's
Literal Great Stone Dragon shows up, is bad, helps them not die, but then almost kills them. So Dooku kills it. Dooku goes emo, leaves the Jedi. Bam, bam, we're done.
Did Count
Okay.
Serenet do the pirates or the mercenaries?
Uh,
Or both? Por qué no los bofo?
did he do both? He definitely did the mercenaries.
I see.
I think the pirates just happened to show up because Sereno is one of those planets like not being protected by the Republic.
Yeah, I think Kate's right. I think the pirates showed up and Ramil used it to poop his plane into action.
Because that bastard.
Did we figure out how the dad died? Or-
No, unclear.
Okay. Jensen was just like, bitch, dad's dead.
Yeah, my assumption was old age.
Well, yeah. Since, like, the asshole pod racer literally makes fun of him for being incontinent. I'm like, all right, bitch.
Yeah.
That was rude.
Why you gotta be the worst?
Yeah, just when you think that the Count's the worst, it's actually Ramil.
Yeah, right?
Yo, I didn't think the count was that bad, like, this whole book. But also, I didn't understand, like, the last 25% of it. But still.
The part where the Count was going to, like, tell his
Kill
security
everybody.
robots to kill the entire protest during a funeral.
Okay, that's fair. Oh yeah, I did catch that. But like, I don't know. All of that shit is like stuff Anakin did. Also.
Oh my god.
Okay, spoiler, Anakin was bad.
Okay, great point. That's a great point.
I was gonna
Well,
make
was he bad or did he have a split personality,
That was-
Miranda?
He was fucking bad.
the joke I was gonna make. Which all right. We're gonna put
Okay.
that.
Okay. Sorry.
down.
Sorry. Okay. Thank you
Alright.
for explaining the plot to me.
Alright.
I also didn't understand the part where I was very confused about the parts where like, what's her fuck?
Ventress?
Ventress. Thank you. Fuck
Oh my
me.
god.
Where Ventress was like running through the like where I think this was the point is like we weren't supposed to be able to tell what was real and what was not real part of it. But I was like, I don't understand who is the real Ventress.
Yeah, so a lot of it was like Force Visions. A
Okay.
lot of Ventress, particularly at the end there when it was like Dooku versus Kai Narek in her head
Other Dooku?
versus other Dooku.
There
Tired
were two
Dooku versus
Dookus
evil Dooku
at
versus
one.
Kai Narek. Yes.
Yes.
So yeah, like that was, and we're gonna talk about that. So
Okay.
hold on that one for a sec.
Thank you so much. I hope everyone enjoyed that recap on the recap pod of what the fuck happened in this book because I didn't understand it.
Right?
And that's what the fuck happened to Kristen. All right, so first real point that I know Chris has been dying to talk about since he first listened to this audio drama all the way back when it came out. The Jedi are the worst.
They are the worst. They are the worst organization. They are irredeemable in their current form, and it's arguably like they're so bad. They're so bad. I mean, just let's start at the beginning.
They're arguably bad.
Chris whips out his PowerPoint.
I know.
In this essay, I will show. Let's start with Lean Castana, who, in the beginning, you're kind of led to believe she's the cool Jedi. She's the one who's going out and doing all the dirty work that nobody else wants to do.
She's not like the regular Jedi.
No, exactly.
Oh my god.
Exactly. But what that actually means is she is just taking her very clearly disabled Padawan and like,
dude, that was so fucked up.
like putting him in dangerous situations that he is unable to protect himself in, and then just being like, what if we don't tell the council about this? They'll get mad at me.
Poor Sifo Dyas, like,
yeah, justice for Sifo Dyas, man.
I know, like, he could have gotten, like, decent medical attention or, like, something, but no.
Yeah, but you know who could have given him decent medical attention or something? The Jedi Council, after it was proven that he had actual premonitions on the fucking Bacta planet.
Yeah.
What do you know about that? Speaking of the council, let's go to the second of my three-pronged the Jedi are the worst point.
Oh, Jesus.
Let's talk about the little goblin himself, Yoda.
He's just gonna go
shit.
meditate about it instead
Yo,
of
really, though.
doing things.
The thing about Yoda is that, like, obviously, we as Star Wars fans, and pretty much anybody who grew up, particularly with the original trilogy, but to a certain extent, the prequel trilogy as well, knows Yoda as the Grandmaster, wise,
Kindly old grandpa.
old grandpa, like a little bit crazy. If you're watching Empire for the first time, a lot bit crazy, but like good-hearted, does the right things. That is an incorrect assumption for you to make. And when you assume, you make an ass out of everybody but Yoda.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Because not only is Yoda running the council in such a way that they are like choosing their political battles to get involved in, which is part of Dooku's problem with them at the end. The Jedi won't even go to Sereno when there are people literally dying and they are being asked for help. And the Jedi are like, nah, bro, you didn't pay your taxes. But
Yeah,
at the
that's
same time,
rude.
yeah. And at the same time, he's just like running it in such a way that doesn't believe Sifo Dyas, doesn't foster a culture of trust so that Castana feels like she can come to him, doesn't think that they need to be worried about the Sith, even though it's very clear from all the signs that Castana is seeing that the Sith are coming back, doesn't actually like it just like likes being mysterious more than he likes actually teaching people. Like, I get that the whole and he sat still for a week and a half before he actually trained Dooku thing was supposed to be like instructive about like Dooku needed to learn to fail, but Yoda's also a dick.
That was so rude. Like, I was just like, oh my god. What? Was that like really necessary? That sounds like, it just feels like, you know, him just like torturing Dooku just because he could. Because Dooku can't, like, not, you know, it's not like Dooku's gonna just, like, give up one day and, like, leave. Like, he can't, because this is all he knows how to do.
Yoda is so far up his own ass in this era that it's kind of unbelievable. Like, he is so drunk on his own Kool-Aid
Oh, man.
that he, like, can't even imagine that there's anything wrong with what he's doing.
It's kind of like, I mean, it's the same problem you get with any like really entrenched like bureaucracy organization. So, for example, I don't really work there anymore, so I can say whatever I want about my old job. So, my like the company I used to work for before I rage quit to go back to school is. It's a pretty old organization. It's just like it recently turned 75. And it's, you know, it's one of those things that like by nature of the fact that it has gotten older, it has grown and become unwieldy. There's like there's a two column like leadership structure, and below that are like, it just kind of fans out into like all this other crazy shit. You know, if you actually want to change things, you have to get approval from like 15 different people. There's so many levels between you and leadership that it's just like no one ever knows what's going on. Like, and leadership doesn't communicate because why would they do that? Because they're not thinking about it. It's like, it literally feels like, you know, those like stodgy old businesses who don't know how change is fucking working, and then inevitably they stop working.
And Kate, entrenched is like the exact word that I thought of when you started talking, so I think that's a really good point. But the thing too, Yoda's just a dick.
Yeah.
Like, he's very full of himself. He's like, oh, well, I've been around for however fucking long. I'm a powerful Jedi. I know what's good for you. And it's like, no, bitch, you really don't. Thank you for your input. Please dispose of it in this Jedi garbage can.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about Yoda is the more we learn about Yoda's time on the council, the more every single one of his decisions really needs to be called into question.
But he thinks he's doing so well.
Yeah, don't we all?
No.
Man.
Some of us have depression. Thank you.
Shit.
The Jedi Council are like the old white men of the Star Wars universe.
Yes.
And it is real sad.
It is real sad.
I don't like it, and it's stupid. Also, it just makes me laugh that they were like, oh yeah, we'll put this person on the council. And then when Anakin went to go on the council, they were like, yeah, it seems like we had a problem with this before, so we're going to say no to you. And then like it was just a whole thing.
Oh my god.
I'm just saying.
No, it's true though.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I kind of do love about all this expansion of the council is that like all these like on their face shitty decisions they made in the Clone Wars and in Revenge of the Sith, it's not just like plot reasons and continuity issues now. Now it's actually that they were just dumb.
I kind of love that they're doubling down on the plot of the
I know,
Clone Wars
exactly. I
movies.
love it.
I'm here for it. I mean, because like, did you guys know that you really should watch the Clone Wars cartoon and then you'd like get a new appreciation for the prequels? No, but like,
But actually,
I've made that joke before, but I'm gonna make it again. If you haven't watched the Clone Wars, what are you doing here? Also, like, this makes that so much more rich, even though I didn't understand what happened. It
Dude.
does.
I almost want to do one of those like things you do in history class in high school, where like, can we at least like put Yoda on trial?
If you want to do that as a bonus, abso-fucking-lutely.
All right.
But we have to do it after Master and Apprentice.
Ooh.
Blah, blah, blah.
know.
Blah, blah, blah.
I also, part of what I love about Last Jedi so much, like even more every time I watch it, is the Yoda scene. And like, obviously he's still crazy Yoda, but also like fully owning up to his own failures. And that's powerful. Like,
Fuck
and we don't understand how powerful it is
Until
in
we
the
see
moment
how
of the movie.
badly he fucked up.
Exactly. Like, you know, we think, oh yeah, that's a wise lesson from a wise old master. No, our students learn from our failures because Yoda's failures literally led to the downfall of the Republic. Like, that is not embellishing Yoda's failures.
Whoops.
One bad Tuesday.
So
So
speaking
it's a
of
bad hot dog, man.
Stop it. So, speaking of Yoda's really bad failures, we were mentioning, you know, the Jedi Council and Yoda especially created a culture of secrecy, basically, where people felt like they could not be open with the Council. And Master Braylon is a big part of that because she had a whole ass baby and nobody knew for the
Sometimes you
longest
just have
time.
a whole ass baby, okay? Haven't
whole
you
ass-
ever watched I Didn't Know I Was Pregnant? It's a whole premise of a show.
Okay, but I think Braylon knew she was pregnant.
Okay, thank you, Chris. I was making a joke.
Chris, it's my
Thank you
birthday. Shut
thank you
up.
for white manning all over it. You're so annoying.
God.
Kristen, actually, in chapter 15, she very clearly states.
I hate you so much.
Uh,
The only things I have like within arm's reach to throw at Chris right now are soft, and I'm very angry about it.
at least it's
French fry
silent.
Adam.
Oh my god. At least they're silent. Okay. So, I think the most obvious, like, parallel we can make with the situation with Braylon is how closely it mirrors the situation with Anakin having secretly gotten married and pooped out babies. And we know that, like, they cannot possibly be the only ones. There are thousands of Jedi across the galaxy. So this is getting a little bit off track, but I guess I love opening the door for speculation. It's the fun part of doing
Off
this
track
podcast.
in my Book Wars pod.
Okay. What do we think would have happened with the space twins if Anakin had remained a Jedi and not?
Gone cuckoo bananas?
Correct.
You know? It's a great question.
You know, would they have just been like more Araths or like I don't know.
I think Padme would have like raised these children and be like, they're Skywalkers. Don't ask why that's their last name.
They're actually just welcome.
Oh my god.
Just like their father, they were born of midichlorians.
Oh my fucking god.
That's not how it works.
That's not how the Force works.
Oh my god, it's not how biology works.
I don't understand that, sorry.
It's fine.
I'm like
Midichlorians are the powerhouse of the cell, Miranda.
I'm so angry. But I really want. I do wonder, like, sometimes would they have just like been like kind of like secretly swept in to like whatever the hell latest Jedi class, or would Padme have just like hidden them somewhere on Naboo?
I mean, I think they still could have like thrown Leia off to the Organas. And been like, here's this baby. And then Bale and Bray are like, look what we found.
the
Surprise.
Skywalkers are not great at hiding things, so
Oh god.
not.
I totally agree with Miranda. I think the Jedi Council to this point has shown an inability to actually call Anakin on his bullshit.
It's true.
And they're so obsessed with him being the chosen one that they just keep giving him more and more shit. Like, we talked about this when we read Thrawn Alliances. Like, what was the best case scenario for Anakin?
Yeah.
And based on this book and how they handle problems by shutting them in a closet and never talking about them, I think they just would have sent the babies away and never talked about it ever again.
Oh, yeah. And, like, just talking about the babies, I'm going to tie this back to Yoda a little bit as well, because there's a point where he's like, we would have accepted you and supported you. It's like, no. That is very clearly not the case. Nothing you have done is, like, pointed to you being, like, kind and supportive and respectful. You're all dicks.
What
like,
about when they hid all the Sith artifacts?
And, like, you know, they're sending Braylon off for years. She comes back with a baby and, you know, like, whatever. No way of knowing. But fucking Anakin got married, like, got his senator wife pregnant, and everybody's like, well, they're really close. Wonder why she's pregnant.
Oh my god.
I have no fucking idea. And it's like, I don't get it. Why are you so dumb? Why are you
I know,
pretending
like
this isn't happening? What
even
of double
Ahsoka.
standard?
Even Ahsoka is like fucking eyeballs emoji at that shit, and she's like 15.
Man, even Obi-Wan knows, and Obi-Wan's obtuse as fuck.
It's true.
Obi-Wan could have had a lover. We don't know.
I mean,
he did.
also, like, let's be real, Obi-Wan fucked his way across the galaxy, and we all know it.
Bwah, bwah, bwah.
Yo, did you see his hair in the Clone Wars? He absolutely did.
It's so true.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, the Jedi are people, and people are bad.
Yes. So the Jedi being bad.
Beings are bad.
Yes. I know, Chris, you wanted to tie this back into, you know, Dooku leaving the Jedi. But also, as we talk about that, the question I had that kind of grows out of this is like, how much are the Jedi responsible for creating Dooku? Like, as in Count Dooku, I am evil. Bleh.
Kate, what a great point. That is a perfect segue to, I believe, the next point on the outline, if somebody wants to talk about it.
Plus, it's your birthday, so you should talk about it.
Oh God. Okay.
Or tell somebody else to talk about it, but I've just been talking a lot.
So I think what?
She's singing birthday songs to you,
Oh, okay, great.
but like not the normal ones because it's Miranda.
Just like very, very strange Miranda specific birthday songs.
Oh,
I think they're
Okay.
restaurant specific.
No,
if
it's the Like It's Your Birthday song. Which one is that?
I don't know what.
what the fuck is
I don't
that?
know what that is. We don't have the rights to this. Cut it.
See,
Honestly, though.
seems like some weird Maryland shit if we're being perfectly honest here.
Okay.
Song.
Miranda
song.
just throws Old Bay at me. And I'm off the podcast.
LeBron
It's
style.
huge in the Baltimore County area.
Oh my god. All right. So, part of the reason why Dooku leaves the Jedi is because he's just been faced one too many goddamn times with how hypocritical they are. That they again create this culture where nobody feels like they can come to leadership with their actual problems that could affect the rest of the order and cause bad danger things. And Yoda, on the other hand, just being very confused, like, but why don't people ever tell me anything? And at the point where the civil unrest on Serena ends, he's just like, I fucking had it. I have also unleashed my fucking murderous rage, and I'ma quit.
He never should have taken his wristbands off.
He really shouldn't have.
It was a
Medication
security
does
blanket.
make you not a dick.
I mean, nothing made Dooku not a dick.
That's
Oh,
I like how even light
I was
side
talking
Dooku
about
was a
Yoda.
dick. Oh, that too.
I was like, Yoda, just because you meditate a lot doesn't mean you're not a fucking dick.
oh my god. So Dooku's had it with that. He's also had it with the fact that the Jedi profess to be the protectors of the galaxy, but they also, pick and choose what the fuck they're going to get involved in. So obviously this all causes him to become disillusioned with the Jedi, but I want us to talk about how much does it actually push him toward the dark side. Like, not only does it push him away from the Jedi path, but pushes him toward, I would like to perform evil.
I feel like he is just fucking fed the fuck up. Like, I don't feel like the Jedi is what pushes him towards evil. Because, he's dealt with that incompetent bullshit his whole life. But I think, it's all little things that add up. I don't know that there's any one thing that we could point to be like, that's why Dooku turned evil.
Right, but I'm wondering if it's the amalgamation of things.
I mean, I think it is. Yes. I think it is that.
I mean,
I definitely think it's. Sorry, go ahead, Miranda.
how much of Dooku really being on the dark side did we see in this? He did some shady shit, but I feel like a lot of what we see from him in this, and something, maybe I read this wrong because audio medium, I definitely got why he left the order and why he went to live a life that wasn't necessarily the Jedi way, and I think the evidence in the not text points to that. But I don't know if you could say that what the Jedi did was pushing him to the dark side. I think he just has some fucking feelings and he gets frustrated sometimes.
I think it was an amalgamation, personally. I do think that his frustrations with the Jedi contribute to him leaving the Order, and I do think that him leaving the Order is a seminal moment to him joining the dark side, because if we look at the galaxy, there is a very short list, if it exists at all, of Force users who are light side, who are not Jedi at this point in time. And so I do think that them kind of ideologically forcing him out of the Order, because and they were kind of daring him to go when you look back at how they were treating him with the Braylon stuff and when him talked to the Senate and stuff like that. And then he called their bluff. But also, to me, the even bigger issue, and this is something that we'll see later with Anakin as well, is the just complete lack of preparation for how to protect yourself against the dark side. The Jedi's dark side education, it's like abstinence-only sex ed. It's it's bad, don't do it. It'll kill you. You'll die in a hole.
You will get chlamydia.
You will get chlamydia and you will die. But But then, when you are a Jedi of a certain caliber, as Dooku is, and as Anakin became, you are thrown into situations which inherently the dark side is present in, whether it's Geonosis, and obviously Anakin was manipulated, but for Dooku, whether it's Lean taking him to the fucking like Macbeth witch planet, like it's
That was pretty lit, though.
that was pretty lit. It's Great Stone Dragon, like, and Lean says it like he's unprotected when he's he was like mind melding, when he was, what was it, beast controlling, animal whatever partnering with the Great Stone Dragon.
I wanted to say animal husbandry, but that's a whole
I know,
other thing.
honestly, I did too, and I was like, that's not what I mean.
Horsies.
I also enjoy how we are nonstop calling the whatever the
The
fuck.
Tirataka,
Yes, the Great Stone Dragon.
Great Stone Dragon.
I don't even know what it's called. I just
Okay.
keep being like it's Great
That's
Stone
what it's
Dragon.
called, though. Oh, wait. Maybe this is a stupid question, but were those ground quakes that started happening again as soon as Dooku landed on the planet? Was that all just him because he was
Yeah.
there?
Yes, that was Great Stone Dragon like turning over in his sleep.
Okay, cool. And Dooku made that happen, and it didn't
Yes.
happen. And it was very convenient that they didn't go to the planet first during the funeral. Got it.
And I will say, Chris, like building on your point of the Jedi doing a terrible job not prepping people for the dark side. We've mentioned this, I think, earlier this episode, but definitely last episode. They've got like all sorts of Sith shit, like all over the temple, just hiding it away. Like, don't go back there. And so when they're finally in a situation, like you could teach with that probably somehow. I don't know how to teach, but like they have the means.
I don't know.
to do
Professor
so.
Quirrell, just not Professor Quirrell.
And then-
What's the good one?
Lupin.
Lupin. Thank you.
But then
Wolf-
No, I
Wolf
was
boy.
literally gonna say like you need a defense against the dark side class.
Yeah.
And then they fucking send them in, and they're on the first challenge in the Sorcerer's Stone where they're like sinking into the plants, and they're like, "What do I do?" And it's like, figure out how to fight the dark side, my dude. I don't know. I'm not here to help you.
Voldemort's been your teacher this whole year. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, it's the Jedi have a very Dolores Umbridge way of teaching about the dark side. You're never going to encounter evil, so why worry about it?
Oh my god. So I want to bring up something else that I think contributed to Dooku going to the dark side, and I think it's like a kind of a slippery slope situation. So we've talked before about how, Depa Billaba during the Clone Wars was against Jedi involvement, against the Jedi taking military titles, against them getting involved in politics to even begin with, like years before the Clone Wars happened. And we are kind of getting an entree to that timeline-wise in this book, or audio drama, this story.
Ain't nobody listen to women of color.
Word. So, honest to God, though. So, by the Jedi getting involved in political conflicts and doing it on a really political basis in and of itself, they're not doing it because people need help, like, by itself. They are doing it because it is politically wise to get involved. How much does that kind of introduce Dooku to getting involved in things? How often did the Jedi of old actually, from the start of the Order, actually get involved in things? And so, by getting involved in things, you are practicing, honestly, the more martial parts of, Jedi, the Jedi legacy. You're fighting. You're not just sitting around and meditating and studying the Force. Like, you're supposed to be, we're warrior monks, but, you're monks. That's part of it. And so, you see Dooku in all these various situations kind of, flexing his Force muscles. And, he has this mantra, which is, I am Jedi. Which is most of the time, I'm more powerful than you because the light side is with me, but also I'm more powerful than you, period. And I think that's a dangerous route to go down. And I think that is also what leads him to, once he goes back to Sereno at the end of the story, when he's just decides to just single-handedly be I am now the leader of House Sereno, and we are still going to be the ruling great house, and that's all she wrote. And everybody's like, what the fuck? But I think he already has this sense of superiority within him. And once you know, pride leads to the dark side. Once you have that, you just want more and more power. And it's kind of obvious to me why he would be so susceptible to Palpatine's influence.
Yeah, and if the Jedi are good at teaching anybody anything, it's arrogance.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I put like a larger debate question that I wanted to talk about next episode, but we can talk about it now because I think, Kate, you voiced it perfectly. Like, what should the role of the Jedi be? And like, just thinking of everything we know to this point, like, what should the role of the Jedi be? And I think that's a really big question that is not answered, and it's going to be really interesting to see how JJ answers it in Rise of Skywalker with, you know, obviously the Jedi, it would appear, are ending. You know, The Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker, kind of assuming the name Jedi is ending.
Mm-hmm.
But what is the role of the new light side group going to be? How does one best serve the light? And I think that's a very open question.
Yeah, I don't think we have an answer, like a definitive answer anywhere in canon at all so far.
Oh, no, totally. I just was thinking we could explore it.
Oh, sure. But I think it's honestly, it's interesting that we don't have a definitive answer in canon anywhere at all. Like, nowhere.
Yeah, canon has actually been very down on the Jedi.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's been very confusing because it's in the movies, like, the Jedi are the good guys. And in every other medium, it's just like, wow, they're fucking idiots. They are so bad at doing life. So
That's true, but also, I mean, part of me wonders, like, if the prequels had been written well, how much of that would have been incorporated into the movies, actually? How much of it, was meant to be incorporated into the movies, actually?
it's a great question. I don't know.
Well, sure.
I would love to know what George Lucas thinks he wrote into the prequels and the Clone Wars.
Yeah, that's
about
really
the Jedi.
what I meant by, that's a great question.
I don't even, well, it's inherently a shady question, but I don't mean extra shade in it. George Lucas is a brilliant storytelling mind, truly a visionary of his generation. The details of the prequels were not always the best written. I think that's something many people would agree on.
He's an amazing he's an amazing big picture guy.
Yes, that's exactly it. And the thing about so I wonder if he thinks that he wrote the Jedi like he imagined Ben Kenobi, or did he intend to write the Jedi as these incredibly fallible beings?
Mm-hmm.
But it's interesting to me because looking at the way the movies have gone.
But I mean, I think we actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I think we kind of get an answer to that, or at least a modern answer to what a modern answer to that question, at least in the Disney era of the Star Wars movies. Luke says what he says about the Jedi.
Yep.
That's what it is.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I think the issue and the reason why, looking at the universe as we see it now and as it has developed with the sequel trilogy, which at some level all this is based on, the Jedi, by definition, from a storytelling perspective, kind of have to be incompetent because there's only two options. Either the Jedi were incompetent and that's why all this is happening and that's why the New Republic fell apart after 30 years. Or the Jedi were perfect. It really was just Palpatine and a once-in-a-generation thing, but then Luke is incompetent and unable to rebuild the Jedi.
Yeah, I mean, I was just thinking that, while obviously Luke never kind of got the, traditional Jedi indoctrination, he still kind of does some, shady Jedi shit. The whole part of The Last Jedi where he's like, well, Kylo Ren's or Ben's getting a little powerful.
Mm-hmm.
This can't be good.
Yeah, for sure.
And he's like, let me go kill this child who is also my nephew.
The child.
And then Ben's like, what the fuck is this? I'm outie.
And also, I'm going to be interested to see how much of this gets answered possibly in, other stuff that's coming out. But, how much of it was Luke being afraid that Ben was more powerful than him?
Right. And like
Not even just in the dark side.
that's
Oh,
just,
absolutely.
That's just some shady Jedi shit.
Oh yeah,
Like,
totally.
ooh, he may not have been trained by the old Jedi, but he is definitely carrying that on.
I mean, if you think about it, he was trained by the old Jedi.
Well,
Yeah.
Fucking Yoda. What do you even do all
Not,
day?
not to the extent that like
Oh, for
he
sure.
would
But you know,
have been if his dad didn't make the Jedi go boom.
Did they go boom or did they go a pow pow?
Well, they went like.
oh shit.
Damn. All right, that got
Actually, no,
got graphic.
They didn't do that. They got pew pewed.
Lots of different Jedi and younglings died very different deaths during Order 66. Can we stop talking about it now? I'm getting depressed.
Oh god.
Anakin killed a bunch of younglings with his laser sword.
Killed a bunch of Yinglings.
God damn it.
Ayo.
Fucking Christ.
But no, and it is interesting because it's funny, and this is why we love it, and this is why we do this podcast, because in a way, all of this relates back to Luke, right? Because we know about the Jedi, and so we know that when Luke is having his crisis of faith in The Last Jedi, like to the hashtag not my Luke Skywalker crowd, you know, whatever.
Fucking damn it.
But in the canon,
Of which Mark
he's
Hamill
not
is part.
wrong.
Shh. Jesus.
In the canon, he's not wrong. Like, the Jedi were incredibly flawed, and like his solution to remove himself from everything is not necessarily the right solution, but his reasoning is not that far off.
His solution is self-yeet.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And so it's just, I don't know, it's interesting. And also, like, thinking about like what should the role of the Jedi be, we don't have an answer in canon, but we do have different views. And you talk about Depa Billaba. Another view is in this, Dooku says something to the extent of, after they encounter, I think it's the Abyssins on that weird like dark side Macbeth planet, he's like these arms dealers, this is what we should be doing. We should be going after these inarguably bad people. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not even a point of view. You're selling arms to kill people. You're bad.
But then
Right.
that's acting as a police force.
Well, exactly. And the other thing about that is that that's not the first time that we've heard that view expressed by a Jedi in the books.
What's the first?
The first time was Quinlan Voss in Dark Disciple.
True.
After Black Sun kills the Pikes, other way around. When they go on that rescue mission to rescue the Pike children, and then Black Sun comes back and kills them all.
Yeah, yes.
And when we talked about Dark Disciple, like, there's kind of three very unique and very incompatible views of what the Jedi should be doing. And like, there's like kind of the monk vision, which it kind of feels like is what Yoda would like to do in a vacuum, which is they just sit and meditate all day and talk to the Force.
I mean, that man sure does love to meditate.
Yeah. Then there's the view of kind of what they've become, which is a tool of the Republic. And you know, they ended up being tools, but I also don't mean that being like
Yeah.
completely dick. Like,
They're-
they are,
Enforcement arm of the
yeah,
Republic.
they are an arm of the Republic. Or, and this is what Dooku and Sifo-Dyas want, and sounds great until you dive into the details, become an independent paramilitary organization.
And that's what Anakin wants.
That
And
doesn't
that's
sound
absolutely
great
what
without
Anakin
diving
wants.
into the details.
Yeah.
Like, independent paramilitary, never a good idea.
Yeah.
Full stop.
And like, thinking back to Attack of the Clones, it's like, we should figure out what's right and then we should do it. Mm-hmm. But like, who decides what's right?
Exactly.
Like,
Sounds an awful
sometimes,
lot like a
yes, there are
dictatorship.
people with guns shooting at people without guns. It's reasonable to assume that the people with guns doing the shooting are probably in the wrong. But like, what if both sides have guns? What if one side was provoked? What if the side that looks evil is actually just trying to feed their families? Like, there's all these nuanced questions, and like, this is also a larger societal question, which is why I think we don't have an answer in the canon.
Absolutely.
And I'll be interested to see where it goes.
We're grappling with this right now. Like, we need to abolish the police in this country, but then what comes after that?
Yeah, absolutely. And so it's interesting because there's these three possibilities for the Jedi, and all of them are frankly kind of have their own very serious drawbacks. But when you combine them, then you get kind of what the Jedi are, which is
Nothing.
Unaccountable.
It's a blob of bad.
Yeah, like bureaucratic, unaccountable, disconnected from the Force, not actually doing any good in the galaxy.
Cool.
I had a really funny Sypha Diaz joke earlier when I think it was when I was reading, and I don't remember what it was, but I was like, I should put this in the outline, but I didn't have the outline. It was probably gay.
You should, I guess, like, sometimes what I do when I'm too lazy to make new outline is go to the outline from the previous week, because that all gets copy pasted anyway.
Oh, I can't edit any of the outlines on my phone because I don't have the Docs app.
She means because she's stubborn.
Also, I'm almost out of storage.
Don't we have the same phone?
Yeah.
Get a new
What
phone.
the fuck is on your phone?
I
No,
don't
she
know.
doesn't need a new phone.
need a
She needs to get some shit off of her phone.
I was gonna say, you get some, you don't need a new phone, you need Google Photos, damn.
I have Google Photos. I
Yeah.
tried to
I'm a dumbass and I don't need more storage on my phone. So that means Miranda's just being stubborn.
person.
I would never be stubborn.
Not Miranda. Okay, cool. That was good. Thank you for
Yo, does somebody else
coming.
want to do the conclusion today? Because I feel like I talked this entire
What do you
episode.
mean conclusion?
Outro.
The outro?
Yeah, I'll do it. I love doing the outro. It's always the
Oh,
worst. It's my favorite thing.
God.
Thank you guys for tuning in today on your chosen podcasting apps and or the Tashi Station radio website that we have. Our next episode is going to be Dooku Jedi Lost wrap up. So, you know,
Send
we
in
do that.
Questions.
Yeah, send your questions in to us via Twitter or Facebook or Instagram, Tumblr, email, or on the Tashi Station Radio mega feed.
The Patreon Slack.
Patreon Slack, sorry.
Yes.
I'm just saying words now. Anyway, our next book is going to be Master and Apprentice by Claudia Gray, which I know a lot of you are very fucking excited about. And by that, I mean Chris and also some other people.
It's Claudia Gray. You're all excited.
Hey,
No,
I'm excited.
I'm excited too, but I know Chris is like it. I meant like highly anticipated. Like Chris has literally mentioned it in most of the episodes of this podcast so far.
I mean, when we start reading it, you'll see why, because they're very complimentary works.
Yo, it's exciting. In the meantime, rate, review, subscribe to this podcast, Book Wars Pod, and the Tashi Station Radio mega feed. And if you are so inclined and have the means, please donate to the Tashi Station Radio Patreon. It helps us cover our hosting and production costs, which is awesome, so we can make the podcast not sound like shit when it is just terrible content in your ears, but at least it'll sound good. If you want
And if you become a patron in the next couple days, you can help name the potato.
oh yeah, so it's not French fry, Miranda.
His name is French fry.
If you'd like to give to us directly, you can do so at ko-fi.com/bookwarspod. Our theme song is Whiz Bang by Poddington Bear. Our logo and artwork are by Joe Butera Design. I'm Kristen, and I love doing the outro because I'm bad at it. And for Kate, it's her birthday right now. It won't be when this drops, but it is right now. So tell her happy birthday if you fucking missed it, you knuckle draggers. And for Miranda and Chris, I'm Kristen. Blah, blah, blah.
You missed a great opportunity to call everybody nerf herders.
Scruffy looking.